Hi, this is some more somatic movements for you today. This is a really beautiful series that works with the skull and the neck and the shoulders of the upper back. It's really fantastic. So I'm here with my three friends, and you're going to see three different angles. They're already in our first position. For those of you at home, what I want you to do is lay on your bellies. I want you to softly bend your right knee out to the side. It doesn't have to be amazing, just it needs to feel comfortable. Place your right hand on top of your left, and your left cheek is on top of your right hand. So you're looking right, and your right knee is out. And it should feel kind of comfortable, like maybe sometimes you sleep this way. At least I sleep this way sometimes, all right? So we're doing soft, gentle movement, and the whole body is going to be engaging to do a very simple thing. So Eric and Tiffany and Mate, what I want you to do to begin is simply to start by lifting your hand and head about just a few inches away from the ground, and then controlling it slowly, slowly all the way back down. And when you hit the ground, soften and relax. Great. So do that again, and those of you at home, go ahead and join. We're going to do this about 4 times. Okay, now it doesn't even have to be very high. So less is really more, okay? Not even that much, Eric, not even that much, Mate. Just maybe 3 inches, 10 centimeters at most. Dropping, and every time you come down to the ground, come back to neutral and soften. And what I want you to feel at home, and as well as my friends here, notice what all has to work in your body. Notice what the lower back feels like when you lift. Notice what happens in the knee, the right knee. Notice even what happens in the feet. And then I want you to do it one more time as slow as possible. Like really go snail speed all the way up, just a few centimeters, and then as slow as that down as you came up. And then after you finish that one, just rest. Okay. It's interesting because even though we're only lifting our head and our hand, the shoulder, the arm, the lower back, even the legs and the knee and the feet get involved. So now slowly and gently, don't change your hands, but just turn your head and look to the left side. So now your right cheek is on top of your right hand, and you're looking to the left. Now, it's a different position. And you're going to do the same motion, but it's very different. So now, still lifting the right hand and right foot. I don't mean foot, I mean head. But you might feel your right foot. And so it's, again, we are just really exploring. It's like the first time that anyone ever decided to journey across the earth, sailing across the oceans, not knowing where the end was going to be. We don't even know where this end result is. We're just exploring. What parts of me move? What parts of me do I need to hire in order to lift and lower my hand and my head? And it might feel in times a bit uncomfortable, especially if you have a lot of neck and upper neck and shoulder, upper back tension. Good. And just do this one more time. Looking to the left with the right cheek and right hand lifting up. You'll feel the parts of your shoulders working and even your abdominals. That's it. And then rest. Isn't it interesting how much of your abdominals work just to lift your head? And that's why I'm a firm believer that our core needs to be quite strong to to have a healthy alignment and posture. And what this does is it just helps us to further integrate our own postural habits, strengthen what is maybe weaker, and relax what is tense. Okay, guys, so this next time we're going to change. So I want you to slowly and gently, mindfully turn your head back to face the right. So you're on your left cheek, but now change your hands. So your left hand is on top of the right. So what you should feel is your left cheek is on top of your left hand. Okay, new position. Same movement. Think and feel before you even necessarily have to move. And then start this slow journey. You're going to be lifting the elbow up and then allowing yourself to come back to the mat or the floor and softly surrender without any hold. What I notice, and I'm not even doing this, is how much movement happens in the pelvis, in the belly, and in the left leg. It's almost like your leg has to help you lift yourself up, because the brain only perceives the body as one whole. The brain's computer system, which sends all of these signals all the way through the nervous system and endocrine, respiratory, muscular, skeletal system, and so forth and so on, activates as one. So even though we are moving and isolating only one area, you're feeling how much of the one you is working together. It's really quite remarkable. Good. So let's rest after this one. Take a moment there. Let all of the coordination and integration within you come into place. And then when you're ready, we'll do our last side, which is now gently turning your head back to the left. So don't change your hands though, yeah. So now your right cheek is on top of your left hand. Turning the head to the left. Now this one is probably the most difficult. I want you to feel and imagine like you had to turn around and look back over your left shoulder when you do this. Okay, now this is actually quite a, go slower, Eric, go slow, yeah. Remember, slower is better. That's it, nice, Mate. And whether you keep your eyes opened or closed is fine. And since we're on this last side and we've been kind of going, I want you to notice where your breath is. Okay, there's no right or wrong. I just want you to feel it and notice it. So those of you at home, are you inhaling? Are you holding your breath when you lift? Do you exhale at the end, or maybe you exhale when you move? And there's many right ways to do this, because really it's all a right exploration in your own self. Good. So what you can do here, Mate, is think of lengthening the head this direction. So it becomes one piece as you lift. Beautiful. That's it. So everyone now, I want you to softly relax, and we're going to do it one more time. And this last time, go slower than you've ever done it. Slower on the lift and slower on the lower. Good. Nice. And at the end, when you finally soften and you complete this segment, you can stretch your right leg back down to meet your left. Place your hands underneath your shoulders and push yourself back into child's pose, where you can sit back onto your knees. So your lower back has a chance to stretch out. Yeah. So we'll let these guys stay in child's pose, and with Tiffany here, just take a few easy neck rolls, shoulder rolls, whatever feels comfortable, so that those of you at home can also understand that, again, there's no wrong way to move right now. We really just want to allow the body to kind of unwind and integrate this work. So if you're up on your knees like Tiffany is, round your back a bit so you do a little bit of a lower back release. Because often when we're on our stomachs like that for so long, the lower back can get a little bit of tension. Good. Yeah. So come back into child's pose, Tiffany, and Eric and Mate, why don't you both just roll up for a moment and just come on down to child's pose. You can come down. Yeah. Just to let the lower back release. And if you guys want to kind of just roll here, move in any way that feels good to you. And then come on into the second side when you're ready. So Tiffany, go ahead and lay down. And this time we take the left knee out to the side. And when you guys are ready, come back in and join her. Okay? So now left knee is moving out to the side. Mate, you want to come in a little bit more? You can, if you want to move in some. So now our left hand is on top. We're looking to the left, and our right cheek is resting on top of the left hand. Yeah, so you were right this way. Left on top of right, the hands. Looking left, right cheek is on. Okay, so now your body kind of knows this already, correct? Let's see if you can utilize that, but at the same time not anticipate what the second side will feel like. So for those of you at home, I want you to do this as well. So if you can do a deep breath, and as you exhale, empty your mind, any expectations. And then we get ready to start this gentle movement of lifting the left hand and the head just a few inches, centimeters up. And noticing what happens in the back, the belly, the pressure on the knee. Good. Every time you come down, relax and do it 3 more times. And when you come back and relax in the center, maybe even take another breath so you can come back to neutral and really empty, keeping this gentle feeling of like a little balloon lifted you up and then gently put you back down, almost like if you were a marionette or a puppet. Good. You can also imagine looking over your shoulder as if you were turning your head to look backwards behind yourself, because what we're strengthening are those integrator muscles. Good. Nice. So Eric, I want you to use a little less effort and imagine doing it before you even move. People who are paralyzed often use the brain and thought and feel what it would be like to move as if they were running and jogging. And this actually keeps their muscles in shape. Our imagination is one of our greatest gifts. It's a huge tool in your toolbox. It's kind of like if you didn't have a hammer, how could you build? And the imagination of even imagining what the movement feels like to move and return, even without moving, strengthens the intelligence of the synapses within the musculoskeletal and nervous system in such a profound way that We don't even need to even do the lift sometimes, but we can just think about it. And I know that might sound kind of like a paradox, but it's quite true. So let's do this last one. And I already noticed in Eric that it's gotten smoother. It looks like there's not as much effort here. Okay, so come back to the center. Just rest. Let everything settle. No flexion in the muscles anywhere. And now only use the muscles to turn your head back gently to face the right. So now your left cheek will be sitting on top of your left hand. Yes. Okay. So think about it before you move, like I was just talking about. And after you've done it one time, it's kind of like a trial run. It's kind of like dress rehearsal. Then you can start to go for it. A lot of times, athletes and dancers or theater actors, they actually will just imagine and see and feel what it is they're about to do without physically doing it. And that is their form of practice. That's not to say they haven't done it many times before and mastered it. But the act of just doing it in the imagination so that the brain sees it, feels it, responds to it, strengthens and connects all the integration of. Good. So maybe just one more, going slowly on this side. Notice where your breath is. Notice what parts of the body shift and move. Good. So there's really the opportunity now just to rest. And I'm just going to talk a little bit about mastering something, because even though we may feel we master something, whether you're a surgeon or a painter or whatever it is that you do and in your life that you feel you're a master of, you still practice. It is a practice. Otherwise, we may not be here still. So even when you start to learn these somatic movement exercises, which I find are some of the greatest tools for living, I encourage you to keep watching these and doing these practices and looking for more beyond even these videos that I'm sharing with you today. Because time and time again, I love going back to these and feeling how much practice I get from them and how much relief I feel not only peacefully in my mind, but also in my neck and head and shoulders. So it's really helpful for attention. So let's move now gently to the other side. Begin to lift your head mindfully. Turn your head to the left and change your hands so now the right hand is on top of the left. And now your right cheek is on top of your right hand. And this is now the kind of different way of moving, because now you lift the hand and head and as well the right elbow away from the ground. So you're lifting through the upper body, upper back, neck, and head. Notice even how the skull muscles, the cranium muscles engage. Because the cranium is always at work with the way your eye movements go. Every time your pelvis moves, your neck and your head shifts. And in between, we have the beauty of the vertebra and the spine that is moving between the head and the pelvis, craniosacral relationship. keep breathing. So you feel, maybe you inhale, maybe you exhale. And if you're holding your breath, that's okay. You don't have to judge yourself or scold yourself. Just bring the oxygen in, because the oxygen is what is going to open more oxygen and blood flow into the muscles, into the brain. And it also creates harmonious peace in the body. Good, and rest. If you feel like doing one more on this side, you can. Going slower, good, Mate. And then slowly dropping on the way down. Good, close your eyes for a moment. Nice. And just really let go there, Eric. Good. So, yeah, letting the shoulders rest. Take a deep breath. And as you move your head to the final side, turning it slowly, resting your left cheek now on your right hand. And this final time, what I would like for you all to do is we're going to add a mantra. And what a mantra is a repetitive sound or words that bring about a healing vibration throughout the entire system of the body, mind, and spirit. And it's going to be, I'm going to just give you one today, and that is, my neck is soft and supple. So silently repeat that to yourself. My neck is soft and supple. My neck is soft and supple. As you begin to now do this last side, definitely the most challenging, almost looking back over your right shoulder as you lift the head and hand. My neck is soft and supple. And sure, we're still working in the legs and the abdominals and the head and the shoulders. But sometimes the neck is what gets really tight and tender, because our neck is a tender place. It's a place where we communicate and speak from our hearts and our heads. They meet in the throat. So our neck and our throat is the place that meets between our head and our heart. So just think about that as you think of my neck is soft and supple. Our neck is holding our head all day long. And it isn't until we're sleeping and really resting that the neck can relax. So when you come down after this next one, relax. We'll do it one more time, maybe two more times. It's up to you at home, and if you guys want to do one or two more. I don't want to overwork you. And as silly as that sounds, because this is such soft work, it's very deep and potent. And sometimes the most potent, concentrated, deep work can be the most exhausting. It's almost like if you were a detailed, fine artisan that had to really focus on the tiny part of your art piece as opposed to painting a canvas all one color. So even though we are painting the canvas of the body all one color, feel free to rest now, everyone. Feel free to rest. So as we paint our canvas one color, we're still focusing intently on very small areas, very special areas, and the head and the neck and the shoulders here are carrying so much of our posture and our balance. So stretch your left leg out to meet your right. Straighten both legs. Bring your hands in under your shoulders, and you can push yourself back again into child's pose. You can also sit up onto your knees, whatever feels good. But let's go into child's pose so that the lower back really has the opportunity to stretch out. Mate, why don't you move in a little bit so we can come a little closer? Yeah. Okay. Good. I'm just feeling the shoulders relax and let go. The face muscles relax and let go. Good. For those of you at home, feel free to stay in child's pose. And if you also want to, you can roll up, sitting onto your knees if that's comfortable. And if it's not comfortable, just stretch your legs out in front of you in whatever way feels best. And then as you sit up, just feel, maybe even close your eyes. Move the head and neck around. Turn and look over your shoulders. What I always notice is the peace and softness in the movement, as well as in the harmony of just the mind and the psyche. Yeah? It almost seems effortless and easy. Yeah. So I hope that this has given you some peace and softness today. Thanks, Mate. Thanks, Tiffany. Thank you, Eric. And thank you out there. Stay tuned. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. Enjoy your length in your neck. Namaste.